This is an essay on a contemporary economic issues. And our question has got 40 marks and requires you to spend on average 40 minutes on the question. So the question reads, discuss in detail dispute resolution and dispute resolution mechanisms under the following headings. The first part is Commission for Conciliation, Mediation and Arbitration, which is the CCMA, with a total of 14 marks. And then we have also the labor court with a maximum of 12 marks to get a total of 26 marks for the first part, and that is the main part. And then we go to the second point, whereby it represents our additional part, whereby it is evaluate the role of bargaining councils in the workplace with 10 marks. So this is what we have in terms of our essay, and our essay has got a total of 40 marks. So in terms of our essay, remember we are supposed to start with your introduction, we go to the main part, and then we are supposed to end with your conclusion. So in the introduction, obviously, we would like to see if there are any key terms that we can define or describe in the introduction. So according to our question, you would see that we have got dispute resolution, which we can define in our introduction. So dispute resolution basically is the process of resolving disputes between parties. So we can see that this is basically a conflict resolution through legal means. So basically it's conflict resolution through legal means. So we've got a brief description that we have according to our introduction, according to the solution of this question, whereby we are saying dispute resolution is consequence of a disagreement usually between employers and employees. So the two parties that are involved in dispute resolution, we've got the employer and the employee. Then we go to the second part now, which is going to be our main part, whereby we are going to discuss in detail dispute resolution and dispute resolution mechanism under the following headings, whereby we have the first part, we have got Commission for Conciliation, Mediation, and Arbitration. So the CCMA would see that the CCMA, it is mandated to promote social justice and fairness in the workplace by delivering ethical and also qualitative, innovative, and obviously this has to be effective dispute resolution. So basically, that's what we have in terms of uh, uh, the uh, the main purpose of the CCMA. You see that the CCMA resolves disputes through conciliations or arbitrations. So according to our main part, we're going to start by trying to describe the CCMA. So this is what we have in terms of our response to the first part, whereby we say reconciliation and mediation, whereby the Commission for Conciliation, Mediation, and Arbitration, the CCMA, is an organization set up to help resolve disputes that cannot be resolved within a business. So basically, this is what we have. We are saying that the CCMA resolves disputes that cannot be resolved within a business. So we have got a continuation in terms of the description of the CCMA, whereby it consists of representatives of organized labor, the formal business sector, and the government, and we've got further points that are also describing the CCMA. So in terms of dispute resolution under the CMA, they engage in arbitration as a way of dispute resolution, whereby we are saying during arbitration, a decision is made by a third person. A commissioner or arbitrator hears both sides of the dispute and makes a ruling that is binding, and that the parties must abide by the ruling. Then in terms of the functions of the CCMA, we have got a rundown in terms of the points that we have of functions of CCMA, whereby the CCMA resolves disputes by conciliation or arbitration, and the CCMA helps to establish workplace forums. The CCMA publishes information on its activities and guidelines on dispute resolution. So this is what we have in terms of our CCMA. Then we move on to the labor court on the second point. So remember, the labor court, it is a South African court that handles labor law cases that is disputes arising from the relationship between employer, employer, we've got employee, and also we can also have the associations of employees, that is the trade union. So this is what we have in terms of the labor court. So in terms of the powers of the Labour Court, the Labour Court has the same status as the Supreme Court. The main function of the Labour Court is to make rulings regarding labour disputes between employees and employers. So the Labour Court must ensure that the Labour Relations Act is adhered to. We have got further points that are explaining the nature of the Labour Court. So representation in the Labour Court, only legal representative, attorney, or advocate can act on behalf of an employer or employee. And also, the legal representative must notify the court of his name, postal address, business, and telephone number. So these are some of the points that we can put under the representation in the labor court. So this is what we have on this part. And of course, we still have the additional part whereby it is evaluating the role of bargaining councils in the workplace. So you would see that the bargaining councils basically, in terms of the role of the bargaining council, it has a vital role in managing collective agreements and also resolving labor disputes. And it also involves establishing workplace schemes that is the bargaining council. So in terms of evaluating the role of bargaining councils in the workplace, organic councils are established on a voluntary basis by employers and unions, and also each industry has its own bargaining council that negotiates wages and other conditions of employment and resolves disputes. Bargaining councils arrange collective agreements in order not to refer the matter to the CCMA, and also bargaining councils resolve labor disputes within the industry, which saves a legal costs. So these are the points that we can include in terms of our additional part. And obviously, this is our typical conclusion that you can come up with according to this essay. So thank you for listening, and we'll meet again in the next video.